Hi everybody, welcome back to another sort of episode of Hero Spotlight. Currently my highest rated video right now is why you need shade right now. I'm hoping to surpass that with this video with why you need Lily right now. So what we're doing is we're going to take Lily, we're going to run her boss mode King Kung, and guess what? We are going to run it by herself. So no help, just her and her potions. So I obviously picked an elementally advantaged dungeon here, but we're still running a boss mode dungeon with one person, and the boss mode mechanic is chilling skin, so her energy use is going to be a little bit hindered for the most part. But my goal here is to get you on board with Lily, and essentially you need to find a way to get her and get her 6-starred as soon as possible. Then take all of your best defensive runes and pile them on. So the goal with Lily here is to just keep on keeping on. So her main strength is survivability. So I strongly believe that Lily can survive pretty much any dungeon. If you bring her with a team, she's going to be your mainstay. Part of it is because of this plant growth. I have her runed out for heavy damage reduction. So she just survives and survives and survives, doesn't take much damage. When she finally gets to 8 stacks of plant growth, that's when she starts to whip out the damage. And then since she lasts so long, she's kind of a slow killer, her skills keep replenishing. So then we go from room to room, and guess what? It only takes a little bit, and her skills are back up. We rinse and repeat with sapping vines, and now with the other skills, we can just use those as well, and they increase the plant growth, and Lily just keeps on growing, keeps on growing. The only thing that would make Lily better and even more OP would be if the plant growth did not reset. So I kind of like how the plant growth works right now. It makes you think just a little bit, but her sapping vines, even with all defense, it just absolutely brutalizes anything that's elementally advantage. So some of you will say that I should have picked a harder dungeon, but let's be honest here. This is a boss mode dungeon with one hero, and that person is technically not a healer. I think it's a pretty fair fight here. So the only one that's moderately challenging is this third room here, because this girl gets to go first, and that's part of why I use that skill, just to reflect some damage, but she also has frostbite, so you run into an issue of possibly damaging yourself. The main thing is once you get a couple of stacks, though, of plant growth, the frostbite doesn't mean anything. So what I ended up doing on this dungeon, though, because of where things were with the boss mechanic and the chilling skin, it was a little bit inconvenient. I didn't like being chilled there, so I did use my 1 energy potion here, just so that I could get sapping vines up, in addition to be able to get some plant growth. Because with the frostbite out there, I needed to be able to get some health back, and I didn't feel like using a health potion. So this seemed like a good option at the time. And again, if you're saying, oh, you should have just done this one hardcore version with no potions, again, it's a boss mode King Kong with a single hero, so cut me a little bit of slack. So the frostbite is still up, but honestly it doesn't make much of a difference at this point here, because these guys aren't strong enough to kill her anyways. Certainly not fast enough to outgrow the plant growth. It's just not going to happen. So even though they get a couple of pot shots in there, eventually she's going to get her skills back up, and then here comes sapping vines yet again. And then it just constantly refills her health. And like I said, she's ruined for all damage reduction. So it's not like she's a glass cannon and getting tons and tons of life leech. She just gets 3 turns worth of life leech, and that's why she stays alive. So just gotta slow play this one, and then we'll be off to the boss room. And then I'll show you the runes afterwards. So by and large, I've always thought Valken to be my favorite hero, but honestly, after doing this particular video, I think Lily is by far my favorite hero now. She's amazing both in PvP and PvE. In PvP, people are starting to finally come around. She used to get lit up pretty bad by Koros, but now she's on PvP defenses everywhere. So my only real concern with King Kung was those projectiles, because she doesn't do a lot of damage, so I knew I wasn't going to be able to kill those things. but she's so strong defensively with her damage reduction that they barely even touch her. Now you run this with other people, and that snowball and that impaling spear thing, they just absolutely brutalize people. But in this case here, she kind of laughs it off for the most part. Once Sapping Vines comes up, and we're already at halfway through our stacks, we're at 7 stacks now. Watch the next hit that comes up from Sapping Vines. Absolutely insane. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. Big, huge hit. So even now, frozen, and bam, how about that? 27,000 on that guy. So Lily just absolutely embarrasses King Kong. There's literally, you could bring her with a team full of fire heroes, and she would still outlast them all. So she is, she's definitely something to behold as far as heroes go. Obviously, you want to have her fully ascended to really maximize her skills to get that plant growth up and going all the time. But yeah, she's pretty amazing. So once he collapses here, I will get to the runes and show you what I'm packing here. Now this isn't to gloat or to boast. It's more so of a sort of like a diet pill commercial. What I'm trying to show you is that the results you're seeing are not typical. I'm packing some serious runes on her. Part of why I was able to do this with just her. What I want you to be aware of is that if you take some good improved runes, some good greater runes, she can be part of any team you want to put her on, and she's going to be the focal point of that team. She doesn't have to be attack at all. You can put all defense on her, and she's going to do just fine. So here's the runes that we got for her. You can see they're all superiors and mostly legendary. Lots and lots of damage reduction across the board. So damage reduction, damage reduction, damage reduction all over the place. So even more damage reduction. Very little bonus to anything other than defense and reduction. A little bit of health, a little bit of attack here and there. So if we look at her skills, or not her skills, her stats rather, pretty minor stats. She's got a decent crit chance, and she has a high level of damage reduction. So to wrap things up, I'm actually going to switch gears, and we will run one more dungeon, just because some people are a little bit like, oh, you picked an easy dungeon for Lily, even though I soloed it with one person and it was a boss mode. Let's do boss mode Lich and see how he stacks up. Now the difference here, instead of having chilling skin, these guys here constantly disease. They disease and they disease and they disease, so you don't do that much attack, you don't do as much healing, and overall it's just a different mechanic. That being said, I'm going to drop the commentary at this point here. I think I've made my point at how awesome Lily is, and I want you to basically spend every single ×10 summon you get when Lily is featured. I want you to spend your Aether points, do whatever you can to get her leveled up. I guarantee it, 100% you will not be disappointed. She's amazing for PvP and PvE. She may be one of the absolute top heroes in the game for you to have. So I'll cut the commentary and you can watch the rest of the video, marvel in her greatness. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to let me know. And also, follow me on Twitter. I don't have hardly any followers, and it's a little lonely out there. So I would like to get Twitter going as good as the YouTube account. So definitely find me out there. Send me some messages. I do send tweets out about upcoming videos that I'm doing. So if you're wondering what I'm actually going to be posting, sometimes you can find some little hints out there in terms of what's coming up next. So find me out there. We can keep the conversation going, and then I'll be glad to have you. So we will see you again next time. Let me know if you have other ideas for other hero features and such like that. Thanks.
Yeah. Ha ha ha!
Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please show your continued support by hitting that like button, and be sure to check out both my YouTube channels for new content all the time. And always remember, peace is a lie, there's only passion. We'll see you next time.